Hello friends, today we're going to talk about the Stormlance task force. This is the new, or one of the 7 new detachments that is in Codex Space Marine. So it's got a detachment rule called Lightning Assault. Adepts and starters units from your army are eligible to declare a charge in a turn which they advanced or fell back. Notice there's no falling back, shooting and charging. So just fall back and charge unless you have some other rule, and there are a couple of ways to get that, so let's get into it. They've got 4 enhancements, which is very standard. The first one is Fury of the Storm. Improve the strength and AP of the bearer's melee weapons by 1. Each time the bearer ends a charge move until the end of the turn, improve the strength and AP by 2. So that would give you strength 10, power fists with AP minus 4 if you had it on a character. Not bad, right? Portents of Wisdom. While the bearer is leading a unit, you could reroll your advanced rolls made for this unit. So if you're going to be jumping out or advancing with a fast moving unit and then trying to make a charge, being able to reroll your advance will certainly help. Fainting Withdrawal. While the bearer is leading unit, that unit is eligible to shoot in a turn it fell back. So you can give one unit fall back and shoot, and then obviously charge as well, because your detachment rule is fall back and charge, so you've got both fallback and shoot. And then Hunter's Instincts. If the bearer's unit is in strategic reserve, then for the purpose of setting that unit on the battlefield, treat the current round as being 1 higher than it actually is. So this would give you the ability to have a unit in strategic reserve that can arrive in turn 1. So that could be very, very interesting, depending on the map or the battlefield. And just remember, there are some caveats in turn 1. A quick edit, we'll put it up here. In turn 1, during the second battle round, this would be the first battle round, you can set up wholly within 6 inches of any battlefield edge, but not in the enemy's deployment zone. And then in turn 2, you'd be able to set up wholly within 6 inches of any battlefield edge. You would be able to come into your opponent's deployment zone with strategic reserve within any 6 inch in turn 2. So that could be very, very interesting. Okay. Next, let's talk about stratagems then. So we have Armor of Contempt. We all know what this is. You use it in the shooting or fight phase to reduce enemy AP by 1. That's going to cost you 1 CP. We have Blitzing Fusillade, which during your shooting phase, it gives a model's ranged weapons the assault ability, and if they already have assault, then they'll get sustained hits 1 for 1 CP. You have Shock Assault for 1 CP. In your charge phase, select a mounted unit. You can reroll any charges for that unit, and their melee weapons gain the Lance ability. So I guess in terms of like probably a Blood Angels army, you're literally looking at like Outriders as the only unit that would really benefit much from this. But potentially if you were playing Space Wolves or something, Thunderwolf Cavalry could potentially benefit from this. And maybe Thunderwolf Cavalry, or maybe Space Wolves in general, would be a good army to use this detachment with. Right, and all 3 of those were battle tactics. It's important to remember that battle tactics are the ones that you can use for free with abilities like the Captain's ability, Rites of Battle. Okay, the other stratagems they have: Full Throttle, 2 CP. During your movement phase, 1 mounted or vehicle unit, excluding walkers, until the end of the turn would auto advance 6 if it's a vehicle, or 9 inch if it's mounted. That's quite expensive at 2 CP. I guess a 9 inch move from a mounted unit could be very good. On remember as well, you can charge after doing your advance, because that was that's probably why this one's 2 CP, because you've advanced and charge and you're automatically advancing your maximum distance. Helps increase threat range, stuff like that. We've got Ride Hard, Ride Fast. During your opponent's shooting phase, after the enemy has selected a target, 1 mounted or flying vehicle gains -1 to hit and -1 to wound. So I think this is actually kind of interesting, because you could combo this up with Armor of Contempt. So you'd really be able to, I mean, it's going to cost a bit of CP, 2 CP, to use both Armor of Contempt and this, but that's potential to add a lot of survivability to a unit if needed. And then their final stratagem is Wind Swift Evasion for 1 CP. During your opponent's movement phase, when they end a normal, advance, or fallback move, 1 unit within 9 inches of the enemy can take a 6 inch normal move. You cannot choose a model that's engagement range of enemies, obviously, but this one's crazy good for if the enemy ends within 9 inches of you. If they were coming to charge you, you can instantly move away from them 6 inches. Or if they're close to an objective, for example, you could use your 6 inch move to put more models onto the objective to mess with basically their OC and score your points at the start of your next turn. I've been using basically the exact same stratagem out the Gladius detachment. It's called Squad Tactics, and you can get a lot of value out of Squad Tactics used at the right point. I've been using it with stuff like Heavy Intercessors to jump them onto objectives and OC my enemies and score extra points. So it's well worth considering, and it's something you could definitely look at. Overall, I think this is going to be kind of a hard detachment to get the most out of. This is a detachment that would normally be reserved to something like White Scars, and we thought to ourselves that there might be some crossover here with like the Blood Angels army, because we're a fast-moving army. We're going to benefit from advance and charge potentially, but there's not much to improve the strength of our units in terms of how much damage they do in melee. Giving units assault is cool, so you can at least shoot and then charge. But overall, the stratagems that they've got, you can only use shock assault on a mounted unit. So for Blood Angels, I believe that's literally only going to be Outriders, really, potentially. They're going to be only mounted unit that we have. I mean, maybe you could class in... Yeah, I think it's just going to be Outriders. And then other stratagems that they have that are good, I guess. Full throttle to get that 9-inch move again is mounted. And the Ride Hard, Ride Fast, the -1 is mounted. I guess Flying Vehicle? I mean, great, but yeah, this... I don't know, Lightning Assault, I felt like was going to be a very strong... I felt like it was going to be a very strong detachment. Because White Scars were very strong in previous editions. I think White Scars is going to suffer, or people playing this detachment are going to suffer the same problem that people playing Sons of Sanguinius detachment, in that you're not going to have enough strength from the melee weapons. The baked-in strength of the melee weapons that Marines carry, Chainsword strength 4, Power Weapon strength 5, Power Fist strength 8. It's not going to be enough to punch into some armies' high toughness of monsters and vehicles. And you're going to need weight of attacks. Yes, you do get Oath of Moment in this detachment, but Oath of Moment has changed. So you're just re-rolling hits rather than hits and wounds. I imagined before I knew what was in this detachment that I would be trying it. But having seen the whole thing, I don't think it's better than Gladius for Blood Angels. And the fact that 3 of the stratagems instantly can only be used on mounted units makes me really question if this is going to be a strong detachment. I think with the removal of like bikes and scout bikes, I don't fully know everything that's removed yet because I'm not going to have my Codex for like another 10 days. But leave me a comment in this video's description down below if I'm missing something. Tell me why you think this is going to be a detachment that's going to be strong, or tell me why you think this detachment is not going to be strong. Overall, I do like how simple it is to see the detachments. You know, the 1 detachment rule, the 4 enhancements, the 3 battle stratagems, and the 3 other stratagems. But yeah, I can't see myself using this detachment. I think for me, Gladius still looks much stronger, and I think a way Sons of Sanguinius detachment is going to get weaker, even weaker, when the new Codex drops because of the changes to Oath of Moment. So the Sons of Sanguinius detachment, which is already on a very low win rate, is going to struggle even more. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Consider subscribing or liking or supporting the channel via the big join button underneath this video, guys. As always, I've been John, the Blood Angels Commander. Hope you enjoyed the video. There's many more to come. We get the new Space Marine Codex coming very soon, so we'll do a live stream / Q&A when we actually have the Codex in front of us, and we'll talk all over. I'm looking forward to doing that and hanging out with you guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.